these hardships, they shape
Exactly.
us up. And
Absolutely.
because of these hardships that I have also faced, maybe I've become a little better person than I was. I've started valuing life. Also made me more compassionate. I'm more considerate towards the problem of other people. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe, I'm becoming a little better human being.
Wow.
So I think, yes, hardships are also important in our life.
What was that thing which you would say has kept your spirits going all the while? You're always so
Uh,
spirited, enthusiastic, ebullient, so vibrant. How do you manage all this?
this illness was detected.
Right.
The most affected were myself, my children, my husband, my parents. So it really affected all of us. It affected many other people, but these were the core people, who were really shattered. So we were trying to cheer up each other. We didn't want the other person to feel sad about the thing. So in this process of trying to cheer each other up, we ended up cheering ourselves, because
Correct.
it's like a chain reaction. So the whole family was in high spirits, and we all talked about good things. Like my husband always spoke about the wonderful holidays that we would go on after I recovered, the beautiful places
Wow.
we would go together. My son would talk about his dreams, about his college life. He would come and comfort me at night,
How
and
sweet.
my daughter, she was tiny, so she used to sing songs, crack
Ah.
jokes, dance for me. My parents were always talking about times, when my children would grow up, they would get married, I would have grandchildren. I felt so loved, so wanted at that time.
Wonderful, wonderful. But how important do you think it is to control your thoughts, in order to conquer this disease?
See, it's not true only for cancer. It's true for any
Absolutely.
disease, rather for any problem in life that we have.
Exactly.
Once we, replace our negative thoughts by positive ones, we start getting positive results. That's what I strongly believe. And one more thing that I believe is that the whole universe wants to help you. See, when I fell ill, my core family wanted to help me. My friends, my relatives, my acquaintances. And to top of it, even nature wants to help me. Lovely vegetables and fruits with all the nutrition, they want to help me. The sun, moon, stars, birds, all of them are, so soothing to your mind. They want to help me. So I believe
Wow.
the whole universe wants to help me to recover. And whenever, I was having any meal, or whenever I was getting an injection or a medicine or chemotherapy, I should just pray to God and to my mind, let this help me, let this heal me. So I think that happened. So that was one thing, my strong belief that the whole universe is there for me. And secondly, I started blessing people in my mind. I may bless you on your birthday or on your anniversary, but do I ever bless you otherwise? So I started cultivating that habit. The maid has come to sweep the floor, I'll bless her in my mind. I see one man taking his old father on a wheelchair for radiotherapy. I'll bless the old man, and I'll also bless the son. So I kept blessing people, and all these blessings came multifold back to me.
Wow, lovely. That's so nice to hear. But do you agree? Because as a woman, women in our society, they need to be looked after differently. When we look at women at large, there are so many things that women go through and suffer. You've been through a lot of suffering otherwise. But how, in your perspective, do you think women should be looked after?
We judge people by our own yardstick. We feel, okay, women are respected and treated well, but doesn't happen all over, especially in
Correct.
our country. Women are so delicate physically, but they have so much of responsibility on their shoulder. Anything goes wrong in the family, anything goes wrong with the children, they get the blame. So they are the center of the family. We have to remember that she is
Correct.
very, very important for the family. One woman can look after a family of eight, but eight people can't come and look after that same family if something happens to her. So I just want to make people understand that cherish your women, love them, give them the respect, and honor them even more, because they play a very pivotal role in your life. And if
Absolutely.
they fall ill, you will suffer the maximum. And I want to
Correct.
tell the women, just like in the aircraft, they say, wear the oxygen mask first and then help others. So I want to tell the women, please look after yourselves first. And if you're healthy, you'll be able to look after everyone. So don't neglect yourself.
True, true. But, that reminds me of a quote by Swami Vivekananda, and he says, the best thermometer to the progress of a nation is its treatment of women. So, what, from your perspective, could be reasons as to why females come late and are seen in advanced stages of the diseases?
Yes, in this 20 years, I've really noticed this. I think the main reason is that for them, the family comes first. They don't
Okay.
prioritize themselves. They're
Right.
always giving priority to the other members of the family. Now, if they're feeling tired, which is one of the symptoms, feeling very, very weak, they'll say, oh, I had a lot of relatives home. I did a lot of cooking. Isliye main tired hoon. Oh, the children were a little, tough with me. So I'm feeling a little low. She never bothers to see that why is she falling weak, or why is she not feeling up to it. Secondly, she feels that if I go in for a diagnosis and I'm diagnosed with some big disease, what will happen to my family? Who will look after them all these days? She doesn't realize that the later she goes, she'll have to be admitted for longer. So she,
True.
keeps delaying it. Sometimes she's even embarrassed. Indian women are embarrassed to
Exactly.
go to the doctors, especially for gynae issues. The maximum they do is speak to a neighbor, speak to a friend. Like suppose a woman starts bleeding 4 years after her menopause, she'll just talk to her neighbor, and the neighbor will say, "हाँ, मेरा भी ऐसे हुआ था," and फिर ठीक हो गया. So what they don't realize is she is a different person. She has a different
Absolutely.
body, and
Correct.
you are different. So we have to really make them aware, and we have to really make the family understand that she's important.
True,
So
true.
that has to happen.
But do
Yeah.
you think that we need to make our women and the girl folk more bold and more strong so that they can fight a lot of issues happening in the society?
I feel women now, since many women have started working, getting good education, so that we are moving in the right direction. They have to be strong mentally also. They have to put their foot down when they feel that things that are happening in their own home is not correct. They
Right.
need to have a say in the family affairs. She has to actually take care of herself and keep her priorities right.
But when we talk about cancer care and cancer treatment, one of the concerns, major concerns, which comes is with the financials. Long term treatment, which drains you of the finances. So, what is your view on it?
Yeah, see, whenever I've gone to the hospitals, barring from the army hospital, where the treatment is for free. When you go to any other hospitals, the major concern that patients have is the finances, because the treatment is so lengthy and it's so expensive.
Correct.
People, there are a lot of government schemes for people below poverty line. But what happens to the people who are just above the poverty line? What happens when the breadwinner has this disease and is unable to work? So, it's a very sad situation. In Indian Cancer Society, we adopt a large number of such patients. We try to give them some help, financial help. So, I would like to appeal to everyone in India, that please be a symbol of hope for such people. Please donate as much as you can. Even a small amount is good enough. And one thing that we have to remember, that cancer affects not one person, it affects the whole family. So if you
Absolutely.
are helping, you are saving a whole family. You're not just saving that patient.
But Rita ji, you are such a strong motivator for the cancer patients. But who motivates you?
I get motivated by anyone and everyone who's dealing with odds of life. See, when I was undergoing my treatment, I was sitting in the car waiting for my husband till he went to shop for something. It was peak winter and it was late evening. And I saw this small boy, 6 years old, with a huge kadhai. And he was scrubbing it away, thande pani mein usko dho raha tha. So I thought to myself, I've had a happy childhood. What am I cribbing about? God has given me this problem. That's not the biggest problem in the world. This little boy is suffering much more. Then, when I went to the children's ward, I saw these little children, they're fighting death. And still they're concerned about the mother. They're wiping the mother's tears. They don't want the mother to feel sad. The next day the child is no more. But a day earlier, he's pampering his mother. He's not even thinking of his own dilemma. The ICS volunteers or any other volunteers, we have such a huge amount of volunteers of all age groups. Most of them are survivors. So they are not only fulfilling all the responsibilities, they are not only leading a very complete and happy life, they are also looking after other people. So,
Right.
all these are motivating factors for
Right.
me.
Yeah, that's why they say, the person's most valuable asset is not a brain loaded with knowledge, but a heart full of love, an ear open to listen, and a hand
Absolutely.
willing to help. So that's the
So
beauty
true.
that I see
So
through
true.
you. And you've been doing so much of charity. And that's, we say, service to humanity is the highest expression of service to the divine. The emotional support group that you work with, and that's the Prerna, and you've come a long way with it. Would you like to share some contribution that you've done through that?
Yes, sure. Prerna was set up, and I was fortunate enough when the doctors envisaged such a thing. I
Okay.
was the founder member, the founder secretary. In the army, because the treatment is free, you have other problems like handling postings. People want to be posted in that same city for long if the child is suffering or the wife is suffering from cancer. Accommodation, donation for donors for blood and platelets, taking care of their nutrition, education for the children, especially children who were suffering from cancer. So we had these teachers coming to help out, read them stories. So it's a tri-service thing. It's the Army,
Right.
Navy, and Air Force wives who are helping out. And as a founder's secretary, I tried to do everything good for them to keep them happy. We celebrated all the festivals in the wards. We had tambola, bhajans, you name it, and we did
Wow.
it. It was very, very satisfying. And it's still
Yeah.
going strong, even after 20 years. And most of the army wives or the armed forces wives take great pride in saying that they have been associated with Prerna.
Lovely.
So it's
Wow.
really good.
It's so true. Extending one hand to help somebody has more value than joining two hands for prayers. So you're doing a great job, great job. And as the director of Cancer Sahyog, there are a lot of awareness campaigns that you are involved with.
I joined ICS and I've learned a lot from them. We have a lot of awareness programs. We go to
Right.
schools, colleges, institutes, factories, everywhere, and we speak what they understand best, the way they understand best. We've been involved in Train the Trainer program. You train a few teachers and they go and train their students. We train a few NGOs and they in turn go and help so many, many people. So that
Okay.
programs are there. We have this M Shakti app. This is,
Mhm.
it could be loaded on any smartphone. It's there on
Okay.
Google also. So whenever we went to talk, basically talks about M Shakti, I am Shakti, the woman is Shakti. So it talks about
Okay.
women cancers and the breast and the cervical, which are most
Uh-huh.
common. And it even talks about healthy lifestyle. So we made people, download this app, and these ladies would go and show it to 10 of their friends. So that's how the word spreads, and it was in great detail, everything what they needed to know about cancer.
Okay.
And I'm also very, very privileged to be a part of the e-learning program by ICS Delhi. This is
Okay.
an e-learning course where expert oncologists, nutritionists, professors, survivors, everybody has contributed a lot towards this. And it talks about cancer fundamentals on SWAYAM and AICTE, which is under the HRD ministry. We've had
Mhm.
nearly 6,000 people who have enrolled and done a lot of learning. And anyone
Wow.
can join that course, it's free of cost. So these
Wow.
programs are really very good.
Lovely,
Yes.
lovely. So, at the end of this program, what is the final message that you love to share with the audience?
I would like to say that life is precious. We must respect it. We must
Great.
love and take care of our body. Each one of us is responsible for his or her own health. Cancer is a lifestyle disease. You need to inculcate good habits and make healthy lifestyle choices. As so many people depend on you, they love you, and they want you in their lives. So we all need to work together to make cancer just a zodiac sign.
Wonderful. It was such a pleasure talking to you, Rita ji. And I'm sure people who would have heard you would have got thoroughly inspired from all the experience that you shared. Thank you once again. So,
Thank
everything
you.
in life moves in a cycle, just like seasons. No problem exists forever, but both problems and solutions are joined together. Harmony exists because misery and bliss are part of our journey. Thank you once again. Thank you, Rita ji, and thanks to all the listeners.